2019 Mercedes-Benz G-Class first drive review vertical bar. What's old is new again. Circuit du CHATEAU de Lastours, France. The road ahead is unpaved, rock-strewn and rut-rich. Deep puddles blast murky water across the windshield. Colossal 3-blade windmills tower overhead, perilously sprouting like whitewashed redwoods at the outer edges of corners. The urge is to play it safe, to tackle this rally-proving ground with the sort of caution you'd normally take off-road. But this is the 2019 Mercedes-Benz G-Class, and to dawdle would be to miss out on the massive capabilities it possesses, which the majority of its buyers will waste on cart-strewn acres of posh parking lots. So, the foot goes to the floor. The twin side pipes of this Mercedes-AMG G63 rumble and bark, and we are doing 45 miles per hour. If you're not Sébastien Loeb, driving along seemingly 9 feet in the air, while careening across rocks, 45 is damned fast. From the passenger seat, it feels like a ride, which suddenly makes the decision to keep the old G-Wagen's dash-mounted grab handle a sensibly functional feature, rather than a vestigial nod to the past. One tends to grab it instinctually, as if about to plummet down Splash Mountain. On this actual mountain in southern France, the new G-Class demonstrates astonishing control. Frankly, the old G-Cold tackled this same course, literally, as it was used for the original, luxury line 500 Jazz press launch back in 1990. The G-Wagens produced in the past decade, or the 3 prior to that, wouldn't remotely encourage the same confidence as the new 2019 G-Class. Its recirculating bull hydraulically assisted steering was heavy at slow speeds, sloppy at higher ones, and the speedometer was vaguer than a questioned politician. The old solid front axle, which was rightly hailed for its rock crawling ability, has been replaced by a fully independent double wishbone suspension that does an exponentially better job at placing the front wheels, maintaining control, and increasing confidence. Plus, with a strut tower brace that snakes around the V8 under the hood, front rigidity has been improved. Overall, the all-new G-Class is a whopping 55% stiffer than its predecessor, which didn't just look like a bank vault, but felt like one too. Massive impacts that would send cringe-worthy shudders through nearly any other vehicle are met with an impregnable solidity. There's no other way to describe it besides astonishing. Okay, so what about the slower, rock-crawling, go literally anywhere capability the G has been known for since the Carter administration? Well, engineers managed to mount that double wishbone front suspension as high as possible to the ladder frame, ultimately increasing ground clearance 9.5 inches, up by a quarter inch, maximum fording depth 27.6 inches, up by nearly 4 inches, breakover angle and approach angle, both by 1 degree. Departure angle stays the same. A solid rear axle has been maintained, but 4 trailing arms contribute to improved ride and handling on road. More on that later. Low range also makes its return, as do the locking center, rear and front differentials, which are now electrically, rather than pneumatically controlled. The 2019 Mercedes-Benz G550 does get a new G driving mode that adapts the steering, prevents unnecessary gear shifts and manages the throttle to be more appropriate off-road. The G550 is still an off-road vehicle for off-roading enthusiasts who'll know what all of the above means, and how, when and why to use it. Keen newbie owners should really consider an off-roading course. As for the AMG G63, it has mostly the same hardware and roughly the same clearances, mind those side pipes, but instead of the single G mode, it has Land Rover style off-road settings of trail, sand, and rocks. The changes to the adaptive suspension and steering are particularly noticeable. The G63 gets this, since it's more likely to be purchased by less devoted off-roaders, posers, if you must, who would probably be better off with more obviously labeled off-roading choices. And frankly, regardless of G550 or AMG G63, those of the less devoted variety will continue to be the majority buyer. For them, it can't be underlined enough how the independent front suspension, improved solid axle and electric steering have radically transformed and modernized what was, to be blunt, a terrible vehicle to drive on road. Oh sure, it was amusing, and plenty of people put up with it because they like the look, the impenetrability and the sky-high visibility.